First time I ever realized that being from the South made you any different from anyone else was when my cousins would make fun of me as a little kid, just 5 or 6 years old, and they would tell me that I was a redneck or a hillbilly because I was from nowhere, Southwest Virginia, just a small town, and they were from cities like Baltimore and Washington, D.C., and they thought that this made them smarter or made them sound better. And at first I didn't understand why. I would ask my parents why, and no one could give me a real strong answer. And I've just learned through my life that there's a lot of stereotypes that are associated with the South and what the South is, even though it seems no one can define where the South really begins, ends, or any specific borders. One thing, though, that most people will agree on is that what we refer to as the South is really most of the southeastern United States, somewhere around Virginia, as far west as Texas, and as far south as Florida. And there's a lot of stereotypes that go with that region. Some is that most people are redneck people, that they live in small towns, all they eat is fried food, they enjoy listening to banjos and country music. And while these things aren't always negative, and they are certainly prevalent in the region, my goal throughout my life and my experiences in dealing with people from different areas has always been to demonstrate and show that there are many more complexities in the South than just those stereotypes that we seem to see anywhere from social media, TV, all the way down to just the books we may read. So far you've seen a lot of images that I would associate with some of those stereotypes that I mentioned, but for the rest of the video I wanted to show more images that highlight more of what I think the South can be, just a dynamic, bigger region than people really give it credit for. The images you're going to see for the rest of the video all do occur in the South, yet they're not the most stereotypical images we see of the South. They're instead things like Disney World or spring break and professional football, and these things aren't the most stereotypical images, but they all are huge influences in the South. They're huge centers of business. They attract lots of people, a diverse group of people from all over the world, and that's important for the South, so we can think of it as a more changing region, something that's always growing and always evolving. The message I really want to get across is that being from the South doesn't mean one specific thing or another. It could mean that you are one of those crazy rednecks that things like Duck Dynasty like to tell us so much about. It could also mean that you're a very successful businessman. It could mean that you're a very successful student. It can mean many different things for many different people, and that's what I try and stress when I talk to people about the South or when I talk about where I'm from.
Don't you dare go running down my little town where I grew up, and I won't cuss your city lights. If you ain't